After I left, I went for a wee in your garden, and well, have you seen your dad?
Oh man! If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That podcast where we watch terrible movies so you don't have to. I'm Russ,
I'm Jared.
and Jesus, if you're with us last week for the trailer trash, then you've got an idea of what's coming. But if you weren't, Jared, what are we watching?
Well, we know who Phil is now, and we watch Hungerford, unfortunately.
Very much, unfortunately.
So in case you forgot, dear listener, the lives of a group of teenagers are turned upside down when their town is taken over by sinister forces.
Describes, let's name 5 movies right off the top of our heads right now.
Lord of the Rings,
Lost
Harry Potter.
It.
There's definitely more.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't teenagers, but it wasn't cynical forces, but
Beetlejuice?
sure. Beetlejuice, sure. Goonies, they're a little bit younger, but whatever. Same thing. God. So we'll do the quick take here. How did you feel about now seeing the movie and the trailer expectations? Met? Exceeded?
I think lower than my expectation. I was like I said, in trailer trash, I believe I said that this would be watchable. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
Is that what you took away too?
Yeah, I think mine, if I remember correctly, my take was that it was gonna be like in the middle. I didn't think it was gonna be totally terrible. I didn't think it was gonna be better than something else we've seen. I was like, I think it's gonna fall in the middle. I think it fell pretty fucking low on the bar.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I mean, would you agree this is not the worst thing we've watched? Not by a long shot, I don't think. Right?
No.
I mean, Alien Warfare had like a real budget, and I feel like that was worse than this.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Right?
Yeah. I buy that. Yeah, sure. I buy that.
But
no, I think this definitely fell into. I think we said this at the end of the trailer trash too. Was that it's not going to be anything new. It's just going to be.
Yeah, more of the same.
Yeah, more of the same. So
the other big caveat that I wanted to make sure we led with here that we didn't say in trailer trash. So I called out the writer, director, actor there who is this whole movie.
We can call him by his first name, Drew. Yeah,
Drew. Right, our boy Drew. Brought to you by a film by Drew Casson.
No. From director. That's
right. From acclaimed director, because he was selected for that.
I mean, we might be adding the acclaimed, but yes.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, Drew. Anyway, regardless, so he's 19 years old when this movie comes out.
So it's 2014, right?
Yep. And so for being done by a 19-year-old, it's amazing. I feel like it's a good achievement.
I would agree. I was 19. I was not doing anything this creative.
No. We were making like videos about we had a short that we made in high school called Of Sleds and Men. Shout out to Andy and Justin, sledding video.
Oh man. Does that still exist somewhere?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I'll find it for you.
Excellent.
Yeah. So it was not on the scale of I mean, granted, we weren't working with a $30,000 budget, but
hey, 19, I was probably making music, but not very good music. So yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to crap on this movie, but at the same time, we have to acknowledge impressive for a teenager.
100% impressive for a teenager. And we watched this on Netflix. So
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
Netflix is not at the point where it's like Spotify. We're like, oh, anyone, like, look, we can be on Spotify. Shout out if you're listening to us on Spotify. Thank you.
Keep listening.
Yeah, anyone can be on Spotify, but Netflix, that's an achievement.
You got to get a little more work there, I think. I'm
so.
Curious how that works out. Okay, so quick info about this, as we've already mentioned. It was directed, written by, and stars Drew Casson. We're going with. Actors are
Casson.
That's easy. Yeah. Luc Besson.
So.
Yeah. All of a sudden he's French, even though it's British. Yep. Actors You're not going to know anyone, but the four main characters, I guess we have Georgia Bradley. She plays Phil, right?
Yep.
Not a guy.
Yep.
I think in the trailer, there was no indication that Phil was a woman.
Yeah, the sister / love interest.
Right. Not in that specific order to Drew.
And not to the same character.
Not to the same character. I clarify that. Sam Carter, who played Kip.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Adam.
Sam Carter played Adam, I think.
Okay, yeah. Adam. Okay. And then Drew, who's the director, writer, he plays Cohen.
Yep.
Cohen Roswell. Whatever. Roswell,
yep.
Right. And then Tom Scarlett, who plays Kip.
So I added this because I was really rattled that if you go to IMDb and you look at this film, he's not included in their like starring actors.
Wait, who isn't?
Tom Scarlett, which is wild because somehow Sam Carter gets billing and he's in this movie for maybe like 15 minutes. I don't know. He's like in this movie for not much of it compared to Tom Scarlett, who is seemingly in every scene, is apparently the cameraman at some points. Like wicked, like Kip is like the most important character.
He also is like basically Google Maps.
Yes, exactly. He's everything.
He's everything.
Everything that Drew isn't doing, Tom Scarlett is doing in this movie.
It's true. He's definitely secondary camera. He's Google Maps. He takes care of 2 kids. We'll get to it.
Yes, he's the hero of the movie.
He definitely is. Kip is the hero we need.
Yeah, not billed in the starring billing. Unbelievable.
God, is there a petition?
Shame on you.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
So screenwriters, Drew obviously wrote this. Jess Cleverly and Sarah Perugia.
Perugia. Yeah. However you want.
Yeah.
They had bit parts in the movie.
Yeah.
They both had like a cameo.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. So production budget, box office revenue, estimated the £20,000.
Correct. Pound sterling. Yep.
If we're going to convert that, that's approximately, $28,000 USD.
Yep. Which that's not like, where did a 19-year-old get all that money?
Where did he get 30 grand to make a movie?
He's got a producer. I don't know.
Like,
you couldn't see it, but I'm doing air quotes.
Yeah. What are we doing wrong?
I don't know. Like, someone give us $30,000 to make a movie.
Yeah, give us $30,000 to this podcast. We'll put explosions in. Done.
Think about this. That's $28,000 in 2014 money. Right. In pandemic money, that's
like
it's at least $14,000.
At least. So yeah, it's like a student film, but like better, right? I mean,
a good one, yeah.
Yeah. So you said so in the trailer, actually, Trailer Trash, you had mentioned the production company. I don't know if you mentioned this later on, but in the production company, what was it, Wild Seeds or something?
Wild Seed, yeah.
So it looked like, I didn't look them up, but you did, but it looked like that they're kind of like they help fund like,
lots of small projects, yeah.
Yeah, and probably a lot of student films and stuff like that. And he's probably, obviously in student at the time, and they were like, "Yeah, you got an idea, cool. Here's 30, here's 20,000 pounds to go make a movie, I guess."
Yeah, they do lots of like seems like maybe TV pilots.
Yeah, it's pretty
lots
cool.
Of like short films and stuff. Yeah, it does
awesome.
Seem like a neat, like not a money laundering organization. So props
far
to you.
Far from it. It seems like it's legit.
Yeah, props to you, Wild Seed. It seems like a losing operation.
Yeah.
You're just giving money away, and I respect that.
Yes, please reach out to us.
Yeah, if you're interested in a project, should we calling this a project?
It's a life now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the quick info on it. Let's get into Hollywood pitch. What's your pitch?
Sure.
Pitch me.
All right. So for me, this was easily Phoenix Forgotten meets The Faculty. Now, have you seen either of these?
The Faculty I saw in the movie theater. Phoenix Forgotten, I have no idea what that is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Phoenix Forgotten is that found footage movie I mentioned in Trailer Trash.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of offhandedly but it turns out that this movie is that movie to a degree. So they came out 2017. Basic premise is it's like in the desert, there's alien shenanigans happening, just like this movie.
Classic.
Ambiguous ending, kind of like this movie. A little up in the air. What are these aliens going to do now? Like, they're not gone.
They're still here. They're living with us, among us.
And then The Faculty, as you know, 1998 classic.
It's a great one.
A lot of parallels to this movie. So
a lot.
Alien parasites.
Yep.
Right. Yep. Taking over people's bodies. You kill them with something stupid. In this case, it was like ecstasy because it was the 90s.
That's right. I forgot.
In Hungerford, it's deodorant.
It's deodorant, which is okay.
Which is stupid. Yep. Both teenager based.
Teenager based. That's nailing it. And we're just missing Jon Stewart as our professor of knowledge. But yeah,
exactly. And then they also were trying to, I thought the way that they killed people was interesting. In both movies, of like the parasites would take over and then the person would just emotionlessly do whatever the parasite wanted, just like this movie.
That's good. I like that. I went a little more conservative, I think, when I looked at this, but it's kind of spot on too. I went old school with it's Invasion of the Body Snatchers meets Cloverfield, which I think we mentioned in the trailer trash that it's very like Cloverfield, obviously for the found footage thing and kind of that. I think at the end of Cloverfield, right? They're just like, oh, we're stuck here. This thing is still here, right? And it's same concept with this. Invasion of Body Snatchers, pretty obvious.
Yeah, when we both had the same Hollywood pitch.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it was actually too good. I think we nailed it.
Yeah, people have done this movie before, for sure.
Yes. Yes, yeah.
But hey, you know what? Still pretty good. Like, when I was thinking back to it, think about like Get the Girl, right? Get the Girl, far more enjoyable of a movie for me, but listeners, if you haven't listened to Get the Girl, go back and listen to that. That's one of my favorites. Guitar Hero based movie. But like, think about the production on that was trash.
Oh my God. It was like
those are real people. Those are real actors. Like these are kids. These kids made this movie.
Yeah.
And they actually did a pretty good job.
Yeah. Like production quality is so much better than Get the Girl.
Right.
Like,
and we're going to get to it in a second in the fast facts, but I'm going to blow your mind.
So that's So I guess we're getting good lead in there.
They call me Mr. Transition.
Mr. Transition himself. Fast facts. Here they are. You pulled all these, so you lead them and I'll just sit here.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. So our first fast fact isn't that much of a fast fact, but there's a sequel to this movie.
I think, no, that is important to know because that is goddamn ridiculous.
Yeah. The Darkest Dawn is the name of it.
Pretty great title. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'll throw it out there. It's, sounds like a DC movie.
Right. It's 5 minutes shorter. So huge win there.
Massive win.
Drew's reining it in a little bit, I think.
Yep.
Mastering his craft.
Tightening up the story.
So when The Darkest Dawn came out, it was 2016. He was like 21, 22. Mm-hmm. I kind of want to watch it just to see how much he improved, right? Like he's a promising young filmmaker, I think.
Yeah. Maybe he needs to find someone who can write a story. That's all.
Well, so I only want to watch it to see what happens with Drew's skills. I don't want to watch it to see what happens next in this plot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care at all.
Like, I want to see him grow as a director, but I don't care about the characters or the plot or what happens at all. No. But so did you watch the trailer for that?
No, I haven't yet. Did you?
I did. And it's like,
how was it?
Would they double his budget or like triple it?
Whoa, it's that good?
Well, relatively speaking, like,
damn, okay.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's definitely way more kind of CG scenes going on. Like,
wow.
Music is, lifted right from a Hans Zimmer, catalog.
Oh, damn. Okay.
It's I was like, wow, I'm actually, they upped it up a notch for the next movie.
Well,
now when I say this, I mean, this
movie was pretty good in terms of.
It's all relative to what we're about to talk about. So
yeah. In terms of production value, like we said, this was good. If they upped it even more for the next one, great. I'm in.
They definitely did. So,
and speaking of segues and good lead into the next thing, I don't know if you realize this, but all of the visual effects in this movie were also done by Drew. Like apparently that's his specialty. Like that's what he studied a little bit in high school or something. Like took a course or something. I was reading some interviews with him. It seems like that's kind of his comfort zone is in VFX stuff.
This is gonna sound
rude. Pretty good.
This is gonna sound mean, but yeah, clearly.
Right. Oh, it's not script writing.
It's not script. It's not story at all. But hey, you focus on something you're good at and go with it.
Yeah. And like the big picture wasn't what got me in most cases. Like the overarching story, it's not original, but it's not terrible. Yeah. The dialogue though.
Brutal.
Yeah. So anyway, he's for a 19-year-old at the point this movie comes out, Drew is like a super impressive individual. All the visual effects, pretty solid. And another kind of combo fast.
He must be a total asshole.
Yes, he seems like kind of a. I don't know.
Sorry, Drew, but I don't know.
You got to be some level of control freak to.
A little bit, but anyways, so we carry on.
Let's reach out to him. Let's have him on the show.
I'll find him. I got nothing to do.
Sure, Drew does too. So here we go. But he was the youngest director to have a feature screened at the Berlin Independent Film Festival, which I'm assuming is a good sized film festival, right?
I mean, it's a festival.
Berlin's a city.
both equal large things. So
bingo, bango. I
think we just solved this crime there, Watson.
Yeah, very impressive.
Yeah, definitely. His credits and what he's doing is it's definitely impressive. So,
and less impressive, and seemingly an obvious fast fact, but just to state it for you, all of the scenes apparently they just improved. They did a run through of this movie, improvised everything, and then wrote the script from the improv.
That puts. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
Yep.
Like that's a process. That's one way to do it.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah, I'd say come with ideas first, but
if it works for you, I guess that's fine. But at the end of the day,
yeah, I don't have a movie on Netflix, so
right. We, what are we doing?
Maybe we should do this. We should follow this template.
Yeah. Boy.
Anyway, so then we got a couple of goofs.
Goofs are good.
Yeah, we love a couple of fast goofs.
Some goofies, if you. I gotta stop saying "if you will." I gotta cut that out. I say that too much.
Yeah, no, if you will.
A couple goofies. Here we go. That's good. A couple goofies. Here we go.
Here we go. So in one scene, a character is not wearing a GoPro. They use GoPros a bunch, right, in the movie.
Yeah, like I think towards the second half, right? But yeah,
towards the second half mostly.
Yeah.
So in one scene, this character is very clearly not wearing a GoPro, and then they switch over to that person's POV for a bunch of it.
Nice.
You're like, wait, that person doesn't have a camera. Nice. And then apparently this one I did not notice at all. So thank you. I'm assuming Drew put this on IMDb. Instead of fixing it, I think he wrote this. He made a couple of goofs to put on the IMDb page. And early in the movie, they kill the first alien bug. Black blood comes out. Later on, when they kill another one, the blood is red.
That's right. The first one he stabs with the knife, and then the second one is when they smash against the wall and it's red.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like extra icky at the beginning when it was like black goop, but then they switched to red blood.
That's awesome. I think we learned something there.
Sure.
Be better.
I read a few interviews too.
Yeah. Be better at life.
Yeah. We should all aspire to be Drew.
Yeah, Drew. Thanks for making me reflect on what I've not done in my life. Great. Probably an asshole. All right. So that's fast facts. Anything else? Was that it?
I don't think so.
Are we getting into this?
Let's fire it up.
Let's get into it.
So, love this title card. great graphics. I hope that Drew also made this. Presumably he did. Explosions, fireworks, like Hungerford.
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
In, right?
Yep. And then Wild Bunch, which is not Wild Seed, which confused me because it says it's a Wild Bunch
production.
Yeah.
We didn't do our homework, did we? We didn't look up
Wild Bunch. Not on Wild Bunch, no.
Okay,
I assumed it was a Wild Seed offshoot.
Yeah, or something like that, right?
Bunches come from seeds, right?
And then we kind of jump right from that to Couch Cohen, our hero here, Drew, on the couch, waking up. Pretty much the shot we saw from the trailer of him like introducing himself, telling him what he's doing, kind of setting it all up. He's filming himself for a media course, and he's got to do it for the next 7 days.
Yep.
Also known as a week here in the United States. And we did have an original comment.
We're in the colonies, Russ.
Yeah,
I believe they say.
In the colonies. Here in the colonies. I think in the trailer trash we called out how his hair was very Jared's hair.
Yep.
The other
he says it's not because his hair is much better than mine.
Yeah, once I got a good look at it, I definitely, and I think I mentioned it in trailer trash, I was like, it's kind of more of a Robert Plant circa 75 meets Kenny G kind of thing.
Yep.
So it's pretty epic in itself. So
like it's a little advice to you, Drew. If you can still keep that going, I mean, he's what? He was at the time, he's 26 now, roughly 26, 27. Keep your hair as long as you can, bud. It won't last forever. Just keep it going.
Just some life advice from,
from a 32-year-old and a almost 40-year-old.
Yeah, let's go easy. All right. So
what's a B-Tech? Do you know?
I don't.
Another piece of research I did not do.
Yeah, so he's talking away about whatever night before. He's waking up, wicked hanger from from it looks like a party they had the night before.
Yep.
At his friend's flat, Phil's place, right?
Yep.
And he mentions a B-Tech Part 2.
Yep.
I don't know, is that like B-roll or like that's gonna be some?
Oh, you know what I think it is?
What do you think it is?
I'm Googling now. I think it's British speak for a Bachelor of Technology. So I think he's talking about his B-Tech.
Okay.
I think maybe he's talking about his final exam. This is the B-Tech Part 2 exam or whatever.
Right. Okay. Yeah, keep that thing handy. We might have to translate a lot of things here. So there's a couple more later on that are coming.
I'll keep this thing, my phone, handy. What do you mean? Keep that research machine.
Yeah, keep that research machine handy. We might need it later. Yeah, so he basically just sets the entire scene of where he is and what's going on. And then he's got the camera. He's walking around the apartment there, the flat.
Yep.
Goes into the kitchen. We meet Phil.
Which, that's
Phil. That's Phil.
From the trailer, right?
She's a Phil. It's a Phil.
So
that's Phil.
We're at Phil's apartment, apparently. Or flat, sorry.
Flat.
And her brother's name is Adam, and Cohen lives on the sofa. We establish a lot of background right here in this scene.
Which is great. Hey, we know characters involved and where everyone is.
Yep.
All right. That's not bad. We're here. We get some classic kind of British humor when she's talking about this boring Graham. I don't know if you've got like, I feel like there's a big British humor thing where like they explain the name of. Have you never noticed?
No, explain British humor to me.
I'm gonna mansplain to you British humor. Well, she like Please. So they're talking about this character, someone named Boring Graham,
right? Which I loved. Great bit,
right? And then she goes on explaining his name, which I feel like is like a very common British humor thing to do. Like, they call him Tiny because he's large.
Oh, interesting.
Let me explain this to you.
Huh? As opposed to
just saying it and having another joke,
right? Like we do in the colonies. That makes sense,
right? So
also, like she's got a bit of charm that I feel like I immediately was thinking, "Fuck Boring Graham." I hate that guy.
Yeah, immediately.
Right?
Yeah. He's boring.
Yeah, and like, yeah, he sounds awful.
So then we're still moving around the flat. We meet the boys.
Yep, we meet Adam first.
Tells him,
this is almost the Poe quote for the intro here. You smell like liquor and herbs, which nice. Oh, sorry, herbs.
Nice. Doing it right, getting it done.
Kids these days.
So yeah, so we meet Adam, and then we meet Kip, right?
Yeah, this is when we go upstairs to the bedroom where Kip is just waking up after a party night, and
well, Kip has got the glasses. Kip he runs into in the stairwell. He meets Adam's in the bed.
Wait, I thought it was Adam was in the stairwell.
No, that's Kip.
Okay,
the blonde-haired kid with the glasses is Kip.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Yeah,
right. Kip says liquor and herbs. Right. Okay.
Right. Yeah, it already doesn't matter.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I'm glad wakey eggs and bakey is an expression in England also.
So yeah, because he wakes up.
I say it all the time.
Yeah, I do too. I will say, I think at this point I decided to turn on the subtitles. I don't know about you. I couldn't.
Yeah. Okay. Had them on from minute one.
It was definitely this point when they started talking to each other. I was like, I don't know what they're saying. I can't understand them. No. So yeah, I flipped on the old subtitles. So yeah, then we're in Adam's room.
We're in Adam's room having a
Cohen is waking him up. Yeah, they're having like a weird. Yeah.
Don't care for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this scene I could do without.
Yeah, just like, is that really? It's not whatever. Okay. Yep. And then college lads, right? I guess. And then
no,
not at all.
Then we get to our scene from the trailer where the whole gang meets up in the living room downstairs of this flat, and cheese on the count of 3. We're gonna take a big group selfie
on the video camera.
Explosion.
Kablooey. We're in it. Here we go. Fire it up.
Rocks the world. And the effects aren't bad.
Yeah.
Just as good as any sci-fi original movie, I think. Honestly, like Transmorphers, like very similar level of effects.
Oh, no, 100%. I totally agree. Like, yeah. So like explosion goes off. They're like, oh, what happened? So they all run outside, and like we quickly get like a shot of, the town, and then like this giant kind of cloud, fire, lightning explosion thing. Right. And I was like, oh, that's sci-fi level. I mean, that's, lava lantula level of
actually, yeah. And that had a real budget.
Yeah, and this might actually be better.
Yeah, actually, now that you say that. Actually, like now I'm thinking about it, even the parasites, once we see them, the little parasite bug things, were way better than the lava lantulas in terms of graphics quality.
Yeah, I agree. And he did a good job of just being like, well, let's try not to show them too much, so I have to like make them look super, just make them scurry around and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, smart move, kid. Smart move.
Good film.
Not that I know what I'm doing because I've never made a movie, but
right.
So whatever.
Anyways,
so they're all outside, and then we get the local cop running up to them, Terry. And this whole sequence is
Bobby. Russ, not. I think they're called Bobbies.
Yeah. Yes.
Not Terry's, Russ.
This Bobby's name was Terry. Okay. So Bobby. He comes running up, and at my first thought when he comes running up, first of all, there's a lot that goes on with like random people in this whole scene. But when he comes running up, he's like winded. I'm like, I feel like every movie where a Bobby is running in an English movie, they're always winded. And then it was just like, wow, this guy's got like a whole bunch of information. He's just spouting out to like these random people right here. Like, does he know all of them? And he's just like, radios are out, phones are out. And the old factory's been hit by lightning. I'm like, wow, that's 3 key pieces of information. Perfect. Right there. Yeah.
Thanks for summing it up.
I wonder if the factory's going to come in later.
Took 20 minutes right out of that script.
Yep. just shaved their head off there.
Love it. And also that cop is 16 years old. Like he did not look like he was any older than anyone else in this movie. Right.
I mean, later on you get a look at him. You're like, yeah. Okay. He's definitely older.
He's just a boy.
He's just a boy. And then I don't know. So the cop is sitting there spouting out this stuff to Adam, and then obviously Drew. Tell us his name. Cohen. Thanks. Maybe we should just call him Drew. Cohen. He's filming it. He's filming it, and the cop is spouting all this info. And then, did you get like some guy in a suit walked up and just started talking to the cop? Like, Who was that guy?
Oh yeah, FBI. Oh wait, it's England. So
Yeah, I don't know. MI6. Like he just comes up and just starts like bossing the cop around, and just like another mention of the factory. And I was like, who is this guy? Like, what's going on? Like,
unclear.
And then there's another crazy loud explosion that goes off, right? And like stuff starts, lightning strikes, and then everyone's just kind of running.
Shit!
Yeah, classic. Holy shit! Let's get the hell out of here. And then they're just back inside in the kitchen.
Yep, laughing it up, having a gas. This movie made me so confused for the first half an hour. Like I was like, oh shit! Like this is awful. What a scenario is happening right now. I assumed it was gonna be like Cloverfield, where
just instantly goes into shit, and then you're just like constantly like, that's it, we're in it.
Yeah. Like, which makes way more logical sense than what happened here.
Yes.
Where they're just like having a yuck back in the kitchen. They're like, huh, that was weird, right?
Yeah. And Phil's like, oh, there's so many hot firemen outside. I was like, what is happening right now? And then they're like, oh, the town hall has been destroyed. Let's party. I was like, what?
That line was ruthless. Like, ladies and gentlemen, they destroyed the town hall. Like, wait, this isn't something to party about.
I was like, what? I think if I ran outside and saw that crazy thing going on, like that crazy explosion, I'd be like, yeah, I think I'm grabbing a car and getting out of here.
Yeah. Yes.
It's time to go.
Anywhere.
I'll let this
or go to the basement. Yeah.
I'd let this thing do its thing, and then I'll come back.
Like pack up a go bag, find your weapons. Like this, like you shit's hitting the fan. This is the apocalypse. You're trying to do something here.
Is this like old us thinking this? Like if we were 19, we've been like, let's party. It's crazy. No, the phones are out. The phones don't work. Wow.
Actually, probably.
Yeah, probably. Okay, I just want to put it in context. Just make sure. Okay.
Yeah, if I was about doing my B-Tech part 2, sure.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, the world's ending. Let's get some 30 packs, drink. Okay, that's okay. So they're not far off there. Then we're
the party.
Yeah, then it's party time. This is straight from the trailer, I think, too, right? Team Brit just getting their drink on. Which
I appreciate. If you say you're gonna do something, you follow through.
Put 110% into it, like the athletes do, and they do.
Oh yeah,
just lined up shots, just hammering 4 shots in a row.
Big booty number.
So I love that you wrote the same thing. I love that you wrote this too. You might have to use your internet machine over there and figure this out. So, first of all, they do like a line of shots, which, okay. And then they start playing this game called, like, Phil is like, I'm big booty. And then she starts doing like this thing where you have to like repeat what she's saying. Maybe I feel like there's a version of this game where it's like you like start a line and then the next person has to repeat it without messing it up.
Oh, interesting. Got 2 leads for you here.
What do you got?
So one, there is a WikiHow article on how to play big booty.
Nice.
In 13 steps.
It's too many.
Too many steps. But there's also on the improv wiki, it seems like it's an improv theater comedy rehearsal kind of game.
Oh.
But yeah, you call out numbers, something about big booty.
Is it? But I think the only thing I'm concerned about, intrigued about, is this a British thing or is this just like a improv? You got to be in the arts to know.
I think it's more that. It doesn't seem like it's a British thing.
Okay.
It says it's a traditional clapping and chanting game.
Okay, so they started, go ahead.
It's about not breaking the rhythm or getting tongue tied. That's the key here.
Okay. All right. So we've seen that game in a million different forms then. So
sure. Yeah.
But
they're playing it. It seems like a weird thing to do in the apocalypse.
Hey, there's a lot of weird things to do in the apocalypse. That's
what are you doing?
I don't know, man. I haven't figured it out yet. So they try this. It doesn't go well. And then it's Adam's just puking out the window from the second floor.
Like you do.
Just like that's baller right there. And just right out the window, the front side of the apartment too, just vomiting right out the window, second floor. It's like, oh man, I wonder where this came from.
Yeah, I wonder who's on the sidewalk.
And as he's peeking from the window, of course, Cohen is, videotaping when he comes over and they see some guy crossing the street and he's like, looks like he's drunk, he's wasted. And it's Janine's dad, who we'll find out who Janine is later, right? But
Yep.
it's her dad, and he's just crossing the street and he just collapses.
Face plants into the sidewalk, like not even collapses, like just falls over.
I know how many times you say you've got nickels for how many times you do things, but man, if I had a nickel for every time I've hit the sidewalk,
you'd be a wealthy man.
I would. I'd have at least 15 cents. So
you could have retired 2 years ago.
Could have. And so then they quickly run outside, and the guy's gone. But then there's just like a blot of blood on the sidewalk.
Yeah, and we're making jokes about it. Like the kids are like, "Oh, what a crazy guy! Who falls down in the street? Am I right?" Like street face.
Gotcha.
Don't care for it.
These kids are dicks.
Yeah. Speaking of,
right? So we wake up the next morning. Cohen's back on the couch there. Couch Cohen, that's what he's doing.
Yep, where he lives.
And we get someone writing. Adam is writing some foul stuff on his forehead.
Yeah, don't care for it. He spelled cocksucker wrong, which they make into a plot point. Like it's everything about this scene is stupid.
It's like,
so he starts writing.
Okay, this was written by a 19-year-old.
Right?
It's like, there you are. There it is.
Yeah, now I get it. So he's like, Adam, which, first of all, I can't wait until Adam dies or something bad. Like, I hate Adam.
I don't like him or Cohen. I kind of want them both to die.
I don't know. Cohen hasn't pissed me off yet.
Oh, he does later, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, so far, I'm like, okay, he seems like just a guy trying to get by, doesn't know what he wants in life, trying to do his BTEC part 2, but
it's good to know they have that problem in the old England as well.
Right, exactly. I thought it was just a colony problem.
It's not.
No, taxes, tea, anyway.
Surviving.
So, yeah, just surviving. And so then they spend, I don't know, probably, again, this movie is an hour and 19 minutes long. They spend maybe 5 minutes laughing about how Adam spelled cocksucker wrong on Cohen's forehead.
Yeah, and Phil is in the room, and they're kind of going back and forth, and it's just.
And then,
yeah,
are they setting him up for a date? Like, this confused me. I know what happens, but it seemed he's like, oh, I gotta meet that girl. I'm gonna do a date thing, and I was like, wait a second, isn't it 9 o'clock in the morning? Like, what?
It's definitely 9 o'clock in the morning. He just woke up and someone knocked at the door. That's what it was. And then
I didn't hear the door knock.
Yeah, someone knocked at the door a couple times, and he went and answered the door, and it was like, or he went and looked, and he's like, oh, it's Janine.
Well, they were talking about Janine though. He's like, I gotta tell her, I gotta say something to her. Like, they were, the whole scene when they're doing the cocksucker bit, he's talking about Janine.
Yes.
Maybe he assumes that she's at the door or something. Does he look out the window?
I don't know. No, he checks the door. I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. But so
it doesn't matter.
He doesn't.
Nothing matters here.
Well, it's what's really funny too is because like in the next scene, when you think about this, doesn't make any sense because like the door she's at, it's a glass door. So that means he walked out to the kitchen, saw her. She probably saw him, and then he walked back.
Even worse.
And he walked back in the living room and was like, it's Janine. You're like, how do you know? Because she can see through the glass.
Yeah, I looked her in the eye and then walked away.
With cocksucker right in my forehead, turned around and walked away.
And then
yeah,
I do appreciate though the internal logic consistency here. So we discover when he opens the door finally with cocksucker on his face, he opens the door and Janine is here to invite him to a party. Now, my first thought was dumb. Why didn't she text him? But the phones are out.
Phones are out.
Radios are dead.
Radios are dead.
You're not gonna call him up on the walkie.
That's a good point. Did she? I think she should have mentioned that though, because that would have been a good thing to keep the audience still aware of what what I mean. Like, oh, the phone, the tellies are still out. I think that's what they call.
Yeah. I would have tellied you, but I had to come over.
I would have mobile tellied you, but I couldn't. So
I thought, is telly television though?
Oh, yeah. What am I saying?
I don't know. We have a couple of listeners over there. If you're over there,
I was thinking
please correct us.
Telephone, right?
Yeah, which I repeated it. Yeah. So.
Oh man.
Well, sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Call me on the mobile. I think everyone says that, right?
Yeah, I think so. Put them in the boot.
So So she could have just been like, oh, I tried you on the mobile, but the mobiles are out, so I couldn't. So here I am inviting you to a party tonight,
Which
it seems like you already know about because you were supposed to, whatever.
Right, and they're having a party still in the apocalypse is also baffling.
Yeah, we'll get to that one. I got a lot of questions when we get to that point. So she does mention something. I wrote this down. I figured out later, and she throws out this line about something about uni, and I was like,
"Yeah, she just got back from uni."
Yeah, she just got back from uni. Honestly, I was like blanking. I was like, "What?" Because I didn't put. I mean, they're all like 19. And then I was like, "Oh yeah, university."
University. Come on, man.
All right, you stop it. Stop your face. Stop it right now.
Watch more British stuff.
No. And so the conversation in general was pretty slow though, and painful, and like I was like, Janine, just spit it out already. Can you just speak? Just do it. Like, he's got something written on his forehead. Just do it.
And for the dialogue to be this slow, the movie is going way too fast. Like, this is when I paused it and looked, and I was like, "Oh, we must be halfway done." We're like 10 minutes in. It's still the very beginning of the movie. Devastated.
Oh, so brutal. So, end of the day, she finally spits it out. Tells him, "You've got cocksucker written on your forehead," which
all-time pickup line.
That's how you do it. And they're all invited to a party.
Yep. Yeah. Which I love how Adam and Phil come over and like, "Wait, can we come too?" Get out of here.
Yeah. Go away, man.
Cramping my style. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll bring you. Don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. And then we get, so that's done. Janine goes away, and then we cut up to the boys hanging out. They're dressing for the party here.
Right. We're making fun of Kip.
He's clearly the shy one. Adam's clearly the outgoing, crazy ladies guy, right?
Yep. Cohen's the artsy one who's unsure about his future. And
oh my god. So yeah, they're all doing that, and that's fun.
And like, why are they being so mean to Kip? Like, they're complaining about him because his mom got him some clothes. My mom gets me shirts all the time. My mom got me the shirt I'm wearing right now.
Oh, I have a shirt that my mom got me. I haven't worn it. Oh, no. Yeah. My mom doesn't listen.
I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
know. My mom gets me at least one shirt every year. For like my birthday, she'll get me a polo shirt.
Oh yeah, birthday, Christmas, definitely getting a shirt.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pick on Kip for that.
No.
Also, is this kid's name Kip? Because I can't wait till he dies. Like, how do you go through life?
So you can't pick on him on his clothing, but you can pick on him based on his name?
Yes, exactly.
All right, that's fine.
Pick on him about something that matters, like his name.
Is it short for something? Kippard?
Kipper.
Kippery?
Kippard?
I don't know. It's British.
It's just Kipper.
Oh, it's Kipper. Oh, right. Yeah, Kipper.
Yeah.
Kippard sounds, I don't know, more British.
Yeah, he's like a kippered pickled pepper, I think. Say that 3 times.
The Piccadilly Circus. All right, so then they're outside and it's daytime. I was so confused about timing because they're all dressed up. They're all dressed up to go to this party, and then they're outside and it's daytime. I was like, oh, they're already at the party? Oh no, they're like actually going.
They're in the alley, yeah.
Yeah, they're just like
commuting.
They're walking to this party. I was like,
Which, college town, Hungerford, maybe a college town. Maybe there's lots of people in their flats nearby. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. And then they come across the weird construction worker dude again, who, by the way, is not a construction worker.
No, I don't know what he is.
He's a postman. I didn't know the postmen in Britain wear orange jackets like that.
Huh. Yeah, neat.
They mentioned it later. I kept thinking he was a construction worker. I guess they wear these.
Yeah, if you're a British postman, send us an email. Tell us why.
Oh. Give us a call on the telly. No, yeah, telly is definitely television. On the mobile. Give us a call on the mobile.
Yeah, we're not giving out our phone numbers on the podcast, right?
Definitely not.
Well, so maybe.
Well, we'll see. We'll see
on our Patreon.
$15 gets our phone numbers. Whatever. I get enough spam phone calls anyways that I ignore. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's one more? What's one more swipe down?
Yeah. And no, nobody says anything. The postman is menacingly staring at them. Yeah. And they just walk past him like it's nothing.
Yeah. And then that's it. And then they're just walking, and then I don't know, they're out in the countryside all of a sudden. And
I thought it was a park. It seemed like a park.
Was it a park? Yeah, there's like a
I
little
thought it was like a
river, there's a
park in
little
a
bridge,
city.
and then there was like two guys picking on another dude. I didn't get that though.
Yeah, I didn't either. This is where I was a little bit confused because with the internal logic of later on, like these guys are bullying this kid and it's ruthless. Like they're about to fist fight him.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, are the parasites making them do that? Or
Yeah.
like, is that what's supposed to be implied later on? Or
Yeah, and then they just walk by and they're like, "Oh, let's just keep walking. Let's ignore that." It's like, what? What is going on?
yeah, I think that's actually one of my biggest gripes with the way the parasites acted, and I guess it kind. I like it and I don't like it. I like it because it makes sense that if they were actually just coming to invade the Earth, they might not know enough. Like they might still be in like the absorbing knowledge phase and like trying to figure out what's going. Like what are the weak points here?
Okay.
But at the same time, I would assume that they would be, if they're, doing intergalactic travel or whatever, you'd think the species is advanced enough to know.
Yeah,
Just kill everyone.
Yeah, I agree. It's so weird because like there's not really a lot of consistency to like what they can do or can't do, and it's like at first it just seems like they're mind-numbing zombie invaders, right?
Right.
And I don't know if they're just out feasting on, because there's definitely some scenes where they're just feasting on people.
Right. Yeah, that's the other thing too.
But
are they bullying people or are they eating them?
Yeah, like first they start with bullying, and then they start with eating, and then they go into like they've got them in cages, like they're like human slaves. I was like, what? Like these? How advanced are these things?
Is cannibalism just extreme bullying?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like listeners, let us know.
Definitely is. Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Bullying plus.
But then you see at the end, I mean, we're in spoiler territory. Obviously, we didn't say this before, but we are.
We never. I feel like we don't have to even say spoilers anymore. The whole everything we do is spoilers.
That's all we do. But yeah, they've got like a giant spaceship and everything. Yeah, you're right. Nothing's consistent. Like if you were that advanced to build a spaceship where you can get here, is this what you can do? This is it? You're not that advanced though. They're just kind of
right. Well, so what they reminded me of, you're a little bit, my elder, as we've discussed at length on the podcast before.
Why does that? What does this have to do with I can't wait to hear what you got to say. I can't wait.
Did you ever read Animorphs?
No.
I think it was too young for you. This movie reminded me of Animorphs a bunch.
Why did you have this? Why did you have to?
So it's a 90s thing. You wouldn't get it.
Jerk. You set me up for that one.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm here. I'll be here all night.
All right. Do we need any more Animorphs? What are we talking about?
So what I was getting at was the main villain in the Animorphs series is like a parasite slug that like creeps into your brain and takes over, called the Yeerks, and like they are this crazy advanced civilization that somehow just like slugs around the galaxy, taking over people's brains and stuff. Like I guess I could see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they don't seem very smart, so how would they build the ship?
Well, they use the host. Like maybe they're super smart, and they.
I was thinking that it would if you can take over something that's smarter than you, then you can use that power to. Okay, all right.
Right. I don't know.
So we're at the birthday party.
Too much credit.
We're giving Drew way too much credit here. So here we are at the birthday party. We arrive. It's a birthday party, by the way.
The banner is dope. Do you remember the banner?
Yes.
I kind of want that for my next birthday party.
I'll do that for you, bud.
Thanks, man.
So we're at the birthday party, and it's mingle time. They're all mingling, right? And they're in the birthday.
Yep, exactly. They're all mingling in the party. This party is disgusting. It's like every frat party that I didn't want to go to.
so many red cups everywhere. My thought was like, wow, all these kids are underage. But then I thought, wait a second, we're in the UK. Yeah. We're in the UK.
No rules.
There's zero rules over there. I'm pretty sure.
That's what it's known for, right?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, all dudes, no rules. So as gross as this party was, it did make me want to drink more beer. Like I had a couple beers last night when I watched this movie, and I was like, I kind of want to keep it going now because of this. These guys look like they're having a good time. I should be having a good time.
I should be having a good time too. One thing has bothered me still. So they're at this party, everyone's walking around, they're all chatting. Yeah, okay, we're chatting, hanging out. Why is no one talking about the explosion that happened the day before?
Yes, the apocalypse that's happening.
Like no
one's acknowledging.
No one was like, "Hey, did anyone see that lightning storm in the center of town yesterday?" Everyone's like,
Nope. Just business as usual.
Nope, just talking about, I don't know.
Doing my B-Tech part 2, filming everything still.
This is what's going on. Like, no one's also talking about how their phones are out, because I'm assuming the phones and radios are still out. Like,
right. I don't get it. Oh, so that bothered you. Another thing that bothered me is that my autocorrect while I'm taking notes this whole time, every time I go to write Cohen, kept correcting it to Corn.
Oh yeah, me too.
So I wanted to call this guy Corn the whole time.
We could. It's our show. It's our rules, but
that's true. Yeah, we can change it if we want.
We can do what we want.
Right, Christian
Haydenson? Still love you. Other thing that kind of bothered me too, I don't know, this is more of a nitpick, but like, why is no one asking him why he's recording everything?
That too. Yeah, great point.
Right. Like he's talking to party goers and they're just like, when I'd be like, hey, can you not record this? But whatever. I guess you're supposed to assume that he's already said like, hey, I'm doing this for, some credits. Part 2. Yeah. So yeah, B-Tech part 2.
I did. That's one thing I did love. Remember about Haunting on Fraternity Row was how much they talked about why they were filming. They're like, "This is going to be epic. This is the best night of our lives.
Right.
We got to remember this forever."
Right.
They never talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. You need to kind of, I think, reassure the audience why we're doing this. Mm-hmm. So then we're outside with Cohen and Janine. We meet Janine for the first time.
Yep.
This might be the most awkward, painful, brutal conversation. Oh. And I don't think in terms of just like giving credit towards like, oh, awkward conversation between two people who are like dating or seeing each other, but just like in terms of watching film dialogue happen on screen.
Well, so this is the second time we meet Janine, because the first time we met her, she was saying, "You got cocksucker on your forehead."
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
So right. Yeah. So no, but I'm backing you up here. It's just as awkward as that part. Like,
and I'm going to put it out there. I think it's all on Janine. She's
terrible. She's a bad actress. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Janine.
Yeah. I hope you went on to an illustrious career doing anything else.
And anything else. We wish you the best. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah,
doctor, lawyer, fire person.
Whatever. Butcher shop.
Don't care.
Whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
So and finally, actually, I will give her this though. She did ask him like, "What's up with the camera?" Right.
Which he's like, "Oh, just a little something from a B-Tech part 2.
Don't worry about it. Just, let's have this really awkward conversation about our relationship right here."
Yeah. And she's obviously into him. She's flirting with him a bunch. He's not picking up what she's putting down, and he's being a super dummy.
Yeah. And then this was the part where I turned on him when he asks, "Do you think I'm a dick?"
Yeah.
You think I'm a dick? And I was like, that's a great start to a conversation. But
yeah, I don't know which sounds in that sentence for me, but that when "do you think I'm a dick" triggered me to realize he sounds almost exactly like Daniel Radcliffe, don't you think?
No.
Get out of here.
No.
He's Daniel Radcliffe sound-alike. Spot on.
No.
Absolutely. I thought I was watching Harry Potter.
No.
All right. Regardless.
No.
Regardless, when Daniel Radcliffe asks, "Am I a dick?"
You wrote this twice, by the way, and I'm denying it both times. You wrote it at the beginning, you didn't mention it. I'm like, no, it does not sound like Daniel Radcliffe.
I'm bringing it up because it's important.
Okay.
Go back, watch this movie again.
No, absolutely not.
All right, we'll watch the sequel, and you can tell me that.
All right, that's fair. So we are having the "Are you a dick? Or are you not a dick?" conversation. And Janine throws it out there. Yeah,
I don't think you're a dick. I think you acted like one.
Valid point. Point, Janine.
Sure. Yeah.
And then we go back to him saying like how awesome and amazing night they had, and then
which I don't buy it for a second.
I totally don't.
Like, yeah, I bet you had an amazing night, Cohen. Not so sure about Janine.
I don't think she did at all. what we know of you already, you're not producing an amazing night for anyone.
Yeah, and I just didn't want to talk about it over Facebook or something like that,
Loves the Facebook. He loves the Facebook.
It also seemed like this amazing night, air quotes, had happened months ago, like a long time ago.
Yeah,
and he just ghosted her after that.
Yes, pretty much. And that's why I was like, this is brutal. This whole conversation is brutal. And he's a dick. And I hope he dies. I was like, I hope he dies. I hope he dies. He's not going to, but I was like, I hope he dies. I'm done with him. I'm done with all of them.
Ruthless.
I've hit that point. Kip is the only one I want alive. That's it.
Fair. I'm team Kip too.
Everyone else can go. I don't care for anyone else. Then we have like a little flirty thing. And then they're having like this, like, I don't know I don't know.
Well, I like it because little call out here, she's like, why don't you give me the camera and I'll ask you some questions, like, Mr. Director, what do you want to do? And I was like, oh, he's the director. They said it.
He wrote that for her to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then a weird thing about strawberry picking that I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know. She, her ideal, I guess, day out was to go strawberry picking.
Yeah, like,
and then
if you live in Hungerford, tell us, is that something that you do on a regular basis?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe. And then he doesn't like strawberries? Like,
yeah. Well, he doesn't like strawberries, but he likes picking them as long as it's with you.
Jesus. See, he needs to die first. That's pain. That's brutal. That's stupid. I don't like you. And he does. And I say this because he does not make up for himself by the end of the movie. It's just no.
There's no redemption.
No, shaking my finger. No. And it's like, yeah, who doesn't like strawberries?
Mm-hmm. Strawberries are good. I mean, when I was a kid, I was kind of allergic to strawberries. It gave me a little hives. So
see, I wrote that because I was like, the only people who don't like strawberries are people who are allergic to them. But I refrained from saying it. But
I still like strawberries.
So my fast fact there about strawberry liking is now proven wrong. Everyone should like strawberries.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. So then we get a little Cohen confessional.
Yeah. Unnecessary.
Yeah. So it just cuts to him talking to himself, recording himself.
About how much he needs to take a piss.
Yeah, pretty much about how he needs to go piss and how awesome that went. And I was like, I don't think that went all that well, bro.
Yeah. Like, are we watching the same movie that you shot? Because
you gonna replay this back next week? And you're like, nah, that didn't go too well. Yeah, no.
I think he already watched it and truly thinks he nailed it.
And by first I was like, are you planning on showing this to your professor, by the way? Like,
oh, yikes.
I would skip that. And then we hear some thudding and he's like, oh, what's that? And he starts walking over the camera and it's just some dude in a window. We don't know it's yet Janine's dad, but it is Janine's dad. Just hitting his head against the window, and there's blood on the window and blood all over his shirt and stuff like this.
Which we get our first camera glitch.
Yep, we got a first camera glitch, kind of building some tension here. I got a problem with this. Like, he's 2 feet away, pissing in the garden. This window is...
Oh, the dad watched him.
Yeah, the zombie dad saw him take a leak and started banging his head against the window, and he's been doing that for a very long time. So it's like... Directly
correlated.
He's right there, man. This has been happening for a long time. So then he comes around the corner. He's like, oh, shit, what's this going on? And then we see Adam flirting with this girl, and he...
going well.
Going terribly. Like, Jesus. These guys are not very good at doing anything.
Yep.
And the girl, they're just sitting there talking. Adam's like, hey, man, get out of here, whatever, to Cohen because he's got the camera on him. And all of a sudden, the girl just starts spewing blood everywhere. This is a shot in the trailer trash, too. Or in the trailer.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I read in an interview, apparently they ran out of blood at some point in the movie, and they had to, like, hire a courier to bring them some more blood. they just went through a bunch of blood real early, I guess.
All $30,000 of it.
Apparently, yeah.
All 20,000 pounds of it.
Yeah, they needed more emergency blood. Anyway,
that shit happens, you know? So this girl's sitting there like she'd been holding this fake blood in her mouth for at least the last minute or so, and then she just starts blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that's why she couldn't have a reasonable conversation with Adam.
She looked like someone who doesn't like taking shots, taking a shot and be like, well, I don't want this.
Yeah.
There's always that one person like, oh, what? Blah, 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 blah.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's in my raccoon wounds.
Oh, whiskey, tequila. That was a bad idea. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. And then immediately Janine jumps the gun here, starts accusing Adam of bringing drugs to the party, which
Janine, like,
not cool, Janine.
Like, step it back a notch. Like,
drugs are fun.
By the way, what drugs make you spew blood like that out of your fucking mouth?
I don't know. Maybe this is a shout out to the faculty. Maybe they were doing ecstasy. Maybe it's all related to.
All this showed me was Janine's an idiot, because it's like she's like, you brought drugs here, you did drugs. It's like, what? Janine.
Oh, it's this cool new corpse drug that like murders you immediately.
Yeah, reverse ulcer drug where just blood comes out of your stomach. Like, what? No, get out of here.
It's called fentanyl plus. Like everybody's doing it.
Like,
get on board, Janine.
Like that was Adam's game. Was like, I'm gonna give her some blood drugs, and then
how many kids do you think I can kill at this party? Adam's end game.
Janine, don't like her. She can go. They can all die. And then she just kicks everyone out. Everyone gets kicked out of the party. That's it. Party's over. Her birthday is over.
So, I mean, it's her party. She can cry if she wants to.
Yeah, and then Team Brit is just walking home.
Yeah, which I love a good drunk walk home after a party.
And then there's a good little argument between Adam and Cohen. Cohen's pissed because he's like, you ruined it for me. And it's like, no, man, you ruined it for yourself, I think.
You played yourself on this one, for sure.
Cohen, let's go to the video. I think you ruined it.
Yeah. Check the tape, bud, because
I think you screwed this up yourself.
Yeah. And I didn't remember Kip's name until I know we were joking about Kip's name earlier and how you didn't know that the name was Kipper. But I also didn't know Kip's name until way later in the movie.
I didn't either until, I didn't either.
I was calling him Cubert because I don't know.
I had no idea what his name was. He does drop a great line though in this whole like argument when like Adam and Phil, I keep wanting to call her Beth for some reason, but Phil and Adam walk away.
Okay.
She's like a Beth.
Yeah, she seems like a Beth. Sure.
And Kip's like, he's like yelling at Cohen. He's like, hey, there's nothing that suggests that he did anything. He never gives away his drugs. You know that?
Yeah, Adam hates sharing. You know that.
Kip for the win. Yet again.
Yeah, Kip's a hero here. Now, then it's like, okay, well, the next day happens. You're like, wait a second. What? How many weeks has it been since like this movie's taking 1,000 years?
It's been, I think 3 days have passed since the crazy weather explosion, which nothing else has come from that.
No one's acknowledged. No one's talking about other than Janine's dad smashing his head into the window.
Are the mobiles out? Are the tellies still out? Are the radios still out? Like,
right. Truly baffling. And they're like, everyone's acting like everything's fine. Like they just wake up in the morning like, oh, last night was fucked up. And you're like, I've had those same thoughts, but now during the apocalypse, like this whole week has been fucked up because of the world is ending.
Yeah, or seemingly, but now I guess not.
And we're like 20 minutes into the movie. Like we're still nowhere in this movie.
I guess we're supposed to assume that the lightning storm thing was just a one-time thing. Which makes no sense because like I don't know. The radio's
bullying.
Yeah.
If Janine's dad is smashing his face into the window, he can't be the only person in town smashing his face in windows, right?
There's plenty of windows around.
And we know that there's seemingly, we know later, spoilers, we know later there's thousands of these aliens that have been dropped around town.
Littered.
There's thousands of Janine's dads banging their heads into stuff, watching kids pee on the garden.
There's plenty everywhere. There's plenty of random girls at parties spitting out blood because of bad drugs.
Right. I don't get it.
I don't either. All right. So then we get to next day. We get another Cohen confessional, as I keep calling them, when it's just him talking to himself in the camera.
Well, and this is when he gets the phone call from Janine.
Yes.
And this is when we show the phones aren't out apparently anymore.
Oh, right.
Oh, and like nobody's figured out it's the apocalypse still, because I guess everything just went back to normal after the town, whatever power plant collapsed or the town hall, whatever.
Okay, so then it was just a one-time crazy storm thing, and then that's
still though.
Like you're still not talking about that. Like,
is everyone bleeding everywhere?
So, this conversation, I don't know. This conversation drove me nuts. It made no sense. It was not logical in any shape or form. And I tried to like piece it together, and I was like, I don't know where this is. Like, none of this makes any sense. Did you get anything out of this conversation? So Janine and Cohen are talking, and then it's like she talks about her. There's still definitely something wrong with her dad.
Yeah, right. She's like, my dad's freaking out. I'm like, yeah, what was like after? I don't know. After I left, I went for a wee in your garden, and well, have you seen your dad lately? Like this is where that line came from, because the conversation made no sense.
Like who leads with that? Well, I went to go take a wee in your garden. Just skip that part, bro. Just go right to like, hey, have you seen your dad?
Yeah, and well, have you seen your dad lately? Because he didn't look so good. And Janine's just like, well, yeah, he's so stressed about Adam bringing drugs to the party. And I was like, wait, this was before that, and also your dad was murdering himself against there's blood everywhere.
And then I love how this conversation, like, there's not one point he's like, oh, by the way, how was the girl who was spitting out blood at the party?
Yeah, no concern. I don't care for it.
Like, is she okay? What happened? You called 911, right? Or whatever it is in UK. Was it pound 411 or something? I don't know what it was.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's definitely something different. Anyways. At
this point, know that.
We probably should. But then, so at this point, she's just like, I don't want to talk to you again. Don't call me, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, great, cool. She had a picture because she's awkward and she's making everything awkward. Good. Cohen, you can do better with your Robert Plant hair.
Yeah, cool. I'm going to go have some breakfast. Smell you later.
Yeah. So then we're Cohen and Phil, not the guy, but just Phil, the lady, in the kitchen. And this was like, it's like we're going from one annoying conversation to the next. And this was just, go ahead.
I didn't understand the takeaway here. So we just heard this conversation. It was mostly about weeing in gardens and dads. Yes. And then immediately he's like, well, she called me a child, said I'm playing diluted games, thinks I'm doing nothing with my life. You're like, those things are all true, first of all. Second of all,
we know that from the opening of the movie. And when you said you're sleeping in your friend's couch, like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean,
and second of all, that's not what happened. Like, that's not the conversation we just watched. As far as I know.
And then I get really confused here. So then we go into kind of a Phil confessional to Cohen here.
Yep.
And I don't know what she's saying. I was so confused. She was like, she's like, you need to go, but you should stay. I need you, but you should go. It's time for you to go. And I was like, wait, is he staying or is he going? Like, what? Do you need him?
Do anything you want to do, even if that means leaving. Wait. What?
I think in his mind, maybe he, they wrote that and they're like, that's so philosophical. It's like, no, it makes no fucking sense. Like,
yeah,
this was so frustrating. I was like, just what?
Yeah. Well, and then the conversation ends with Phil saying, you have to go. And then Cohen replying, Philippa Martel, what would I do without you?
Yeah. I was like,
wait.
Does that mean he's staying? And then they have a really awkward breakfast hug.
He's like groping her and she looks disgusted.
And he gets up and then, yeah, right. And he gets up and then there's like, she gives this look to the camera that is just like, oh, dude, you need to go. Like
it's a very Jim, like you can't see it, listeners, but you
can probably fathom what that looks like
if you've watched the Colonies version of The Office. The character Jim frequently looks at the camera.
This is definitely one of those moments. I was like, what is going on? Should he stay or go? And then the postman shows up.
Then it's like, knock, knock, knock. Oh, the postman must be here. No, just kidding. It's a murder zombie.
Yeah, not Kevin Costner postman, but the postman who is in the orange. This is when I was like, oh, I guess they wear the construction jackets over there.
Right. Like a Bobby would.
I wonder if they have. Well, yeah, it's Postman. So the Postman shows up and he just goes to town. And all of a sudden, it's like this crazy action scene,
which felt pretty realistic. Actually, I kind of liked the fight scene. Yeah,
it was like at first I was like, man, this Postman's like, what is he? Serious kung fu stunt guy? Like he was like a little too coordinated. I was like, but it was like, oh, this is okay. They're
Is this guy not in the movie? Did he just like break onto the set and start hammering on Adam?
Just like start attacking people. So the Postman comes in and he just attacks. Cohen is totally useless. He gets knocked off the side, basically just sitting down. It was basically just him getting knocked over so he can hold the camera. Right. Phil is sitting there just screaming, and it's Adam versus the Postman. Adam takes the win, I think. He gets the +1 here.
Which I thought he was going to die immediately.
I thought he was going to die too, because the Postman has a knife.
Right.
He's got the advantage, and Adam just turns the knife on him and gets him right in the stomach. I was like, nice.
And then I assumed that if the zombie alien here was thinking it all, why wouldn't he just turn the knife back around and like after he pulls it out of himself, that knife back around, stab at him, finish off the. Instead, he throws the knife away. Did you catch that? Like he just throws it on the floor. Like, why?
Yeah, you have a.
This could have been over.
Yeah, this could have been over a long time ago. So then he twists the knife, pulls the knife out, tosses it, and then Adam. Is it Adam or is it or Cohen that sprays him?
I think it's Cohen that sprays him.
Well, no, because they kind of. He goes back at Adam and they dump over the table. No, because Cohen could have done because he was still holding the camera. They dump over the table to the left, and then that's right. And then Adam grabs, which now I'm thinking about it. He sprays him in the face with like some aerosol can spray.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, what is that, Pam? You're in the kitchen. And it's deodorant. I was like, what's the deodorant?
I thought it was hairspray. Yeah.
That's what I thought. I had no idea what it was. Later on, we find out it's deodorant. We're like, what's a can of deodorant doing? And do you guys use spray can aerosol cans of deodorant in the UK? Come on, man, the environment.
Maybe in 2014. Simpler times.
The environment was still a thing back then, too.
Nope. Disagree.
So Adam sprays him with something. We don't know what it is. We know now it's deodorant, but it's
melting his face,
melting the Postman's face off, and he's just freaking out. Goes down the hallway, slams into like the living room table. He's out, freaking out, and his face is just melted off. And I was like, all right, that's pretty badass. That was cool.
We're getting like an Indiana Jones, like he's like, oh, it's awesome. Yeah,
I was like, this is okay. Here we go. And then we get the gray. Everyone's kind of slowing down, heavy breaths, right? Kip shows up and he's like, hey guys, I bought crumpets. I was like,
classic Kip.
Classic Kip. I hope he lives.
I hope so too.
And so now shit is gotten to next level. So
I love how this scene opens because they're concerned about like, wait, what's going to happen to Adam now? Like we're covering up a murder that we have on video and we're continuing to video the cover up. It's like, what are we going to do with that dead guy?
Hey man, now is the time to shut up. By the way, you also have video coverage showing this guy attacking you.
Yeah. Sorry guys, this is from B-Tech Part 2. I got to get everything.
Like, no, you're okay. You have video footage of this guy attacking you. So you don't have to worry about the cops. You can just call them, have them come be like, yeah, man, take a look at this video.
Look at this crazy murder zombie that showed up at my house.
Hey, you're 19, you're not thinking through everything, all the options here. So they're trying to figure out what they do with the dead body because now they're freaking out because Adam basically murdered someone.
Right. And then they don't call the cops, but
the cops
Terry shows up.
Terry Bobby shows up like, wow. I was like, man, that's just great timing.
Yeah. And I love how it's for a small amount of pot. They make this huge issue where he's like, you'll be aware of the ramifications of the Illegal Misuse of Drugs Act, and like going through this whole rigmarole with the crew, the gang, the whole gang is implicated in this.
Yeah.
And it's over like, I don't know, like half an ounce of pot.
Yeah, which 2014 we've discussed the pot amounts you can carry in various countries. We've covered Canada now. We've covered the US.
UK is pretty strict, so I feel like
I figured that sounds about right.
Especially in 2014.
Sounds about right.
But still, though, like, but then I like how they make it a joke. Kind of, where they're like, oh wait, he just wanted the pot. Like they're like, oh yeah, you can have that. Actually, it's on me. Just keep it.
But it was like they gave him like a Ziploc baggie full of pot though, and I was like, that seems like a lot. No,
yeah,
I'm wrong.
Now I'm gonna go a little off base here, speculating. I think our buddy Drew here is obvious. I mean, look at his hair. Obviously,
I've seen similar hair, and yeah,
look at his hair, and obviously he's I think he's trying to make a political statement here. You know, it is a silly crime. The cops like it too.
Yep,
everybody's having a good time. It's 2014 still. You know, it was less accepted back then.
Party like it's 2014. So they basically bribe a cop with weed. Cop's like, oh, this is great, and he leaves. Yep, and then they get back to
the body,
dealing with the dead body. So
the face melted person that's on the living room floor still.
So they go to wrap him up in like a blanket or something like that, and there's a quick shot of like the back of his neck. You see clearly this giant hole in the back of his neck.
Mm-hmm.
Something went in or out of there.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. So they're wrapping him up.
I thought they were gonna rob him. I thought they were like gonna grab his wallet and be like.
I mean, it's not like he's gonna use it. So I mean, grab whatever cash is in there, right? Like you wouldn't. You'd be like, no, you know what? You're gonna die with this cash. Like
the apocalypse is happening outside. But cash doesn't mean anything anymore to me.
You don't know that yet. Everyone else is playing like it's normal. So
I guess so.
You don't know the apocalypse is coming. So then they get the body wrapped up and they're bringing it outside. And their plan is to dump the body in their own trash bin.
Yeah, incredible. Great choice.
This is like puking out the second floor window onto the main street from your apartment. It's not hard to figure out what the fuck's going on here. So they dump a full-sized human being body into their trash bin.
And their justification for it is like, well, nobody's going to go. It's just going to dump it into the truck. Nobody goes through the trash. Like that would be crazy. And Cohen's saying, meanwhile, like, I think this is a really bad idea. We can't do this. Like, as you throw a person in the trash. Like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah. Don't you guys still have video footage of the entire situation that went down?
Yeah, I'm rooting for them all to die at this point. Like, I hate these guys. They deserve whatever they get.
I'm 100% rooting for that. So
maybe not Sweet Kip.
No, Sweet Kip we definitely want to keep around. So they keep so we get the postman's dead body in the trash can.
Yep.
Team Brit is a little shooken up, and then they went to sleep.
Then we call it a day. Well, what a rough one.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
I'll write about it in my journal, and it's unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable.
So the postman came in, tried to murder you. You sprayed his face with deodorant. He died. We dumped him in the trash bin. I think I'm tired.
Robbed a cop with pot in the meantime.
Yeah, bribed a cop with pot. You know, I think I'm a little beat. I'm gonna go to bed now.
Yep. Yeah. And again, it's been like a week since the aliens came.
So we've got the dead body in the trash can, but I think we're gonna pull back here, and this will be the end of the part one here, and we're gonna dive into part two because I know everyone's wondering what happened with that body in the trash bin. We're curious too. We know, but
yeah, do they actually just come pick it up and bring it to the landfill? Maybe. Don't you want to know? Thanks for listening. We'll be back on Thursday with part two. But in the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That, and we're ITMT Pod on Twitter. Yeah, or like we always say, if you're feeling old-fashioned, want to send us an email, it's thismeetsthat@gmail.com, and you can find all of our episodes at itsthismeetsthat.com.